And a formal hello and welcome to our presentation, Enhancing Damage Prevention with the City of San Jose with Barinder Singh and Maya Larson. Today we're going to talk about how the City of San Jose leverages Boss 811 to improve their one-call ticket management and become more efficient using our 811 software. Today we have over 100 guests registered for this webinar, and we do appreciate your time. We thank you all for joining us today. My name's Nicole Benjamin. I'm the Digital Marketing Coordinator here at Boss Solutions. During today's presentation, we'll be highlighting how you can use one-call locate ticket management software across your organization. We'll discuss efficiency and productivity improvements, supervisor visibility and proactive management, improved accuracy and quality of locates, how to improve communication between dispatch, field teams, and supervisors, reporting and compliance, and at the end, we're going to have a live Q&A session. We're also at the end of the presentation, we're also going to answer any questions submitted, and we're going to give away 2 Amazon gift cards today. We have a few housekeeping notes before we dive in and get started. So today through this session, everyone will be muted throughout the presentation. We encourage you all again to ask questions using the ask questions in the Q&A, and we're going to answer those questions at the end of this presentation. The presentation is being recorded. We're going to email a link to all participants after the presentation. And also, because we value your feedback, you all are going to receive a very short survey afterwards. If you would kindly respond with your feedback and comments, we would greatly appreciate it. Boss Solutions at a glance. We've been in IT service management for over 25 years. We have received numerous awards and been recognized by leading authorities such as Gartner, Software Advice, Capterra, and many others in categories such as Top 20, Front Runner, Category Leader. Our offerings include Boss 811, a one-call ticket management solution for the damage prevention industry. We also offer Boss Desk, a support and help desk solution, which is available both on-premise and cloud-hosted. Boss Solutions is committed to exceeding industry standards with the latest technology. Additionally, we're committed to providing excellent customer support by providing a US-based support team. Our presenters today are Barinder Singh and Maya Larson. Barinder Singh is a principal construction inspector with the City of San Jose, where he plays an integral role in coordinating damage prevention efforts for one of California's largest municipalities. With extensive expertise managing high-volume locate tickets and working closely with city locators and contractors, Barinder brings a deep understanding of 811 ticket management and operational workflow optimization. In his role, he ensures timely responses to locate requests and serves as the key point of contact for Boss 811 customer service, providing expert insight into how modern tools support safer and more efficient utility protection practices. Our co-speaker today is Maya Larson. Maya is a construction inspector with the City of San Jose Public Works Department, where she has supported municipal construction oversight and utility coordination since 2021. In her role, she works closely with field teams to ensure safe excavation practices, accurate utility locating, and compliance with damage prevention requirements. Prior to joining the City of San Jose, Maya served as a utilities locator and dispatcher with UtiliQuest, locating underground communications infrastructure for major providers such as AT&T and Comcast, while supporting technicians through ticket dispatching and in-field coordination. Her background also includes hands-on technical experience with AT&T, giving her a well-rounded perspective that spans locating, inspection, and field operations. With expertise across public works, utility locating, and telecommunications, Maya brings practical insight into real-world 811 workflows, cross-team coordination, and the day-to-day challenges of protecting underground infrastructure. Our next presenter will be Brad Keeter, who leads our Boss 811 business development team. Today, Brad will showcase or highlight areas of Boss 811 that are relevant to the City of San Jose's success. So at this time, I'll now open the floor to Berinder to get us started with a little background information about the City of San Jose. Berinder, you can take the floor when you're ready.
Thank you very much, Nicole. Hello, everyone. San Jose is basically the largest city in Northern California. We're the third largest in the state of California. We are responsible for a lot of our city-owned infrastructure. As Nicole has mentioned, we have our own city locators. Among the stuff that we locate includes traffic signals, street lights, communication, signal communication, as well as city-owned water. Part of our city has municipal water, which is owned by the city, and they also has private water companies. As of last year, we received approximately 90,000 tickets, which is a high volume, and it has, to damage prevention or environment. Out of those 90,000 tickets, just roughly, we had, I think, about 6 or 7 hits last year out of all those, and that's actually kind of high for us for that year. So that's what Boss 811 has helped us to do, is minimize our hits and stuff, as well as consolidate the way we locate and our time efficiency for our locators. We work closely with locators and external contractors to ensure the accurate and timely locator response. I'm responsible for overseeing the locators as well as managing contact between the contractors and the locators if there are issues in the field or if they haven't got response or if isn't met in a timely manner, then I respond to that and send somebody out there to ensure that it's done in a timely manner. I also serve as the primary point of contact for Boss 811 customer service, trying to make sure the communication and issue resolution is done promptly and without any issues. So we also use Boss 111 for auto ticket closing. So it's helped efficiency. We've actually had the same number of locators in the city of San Jose over the last 6 or 7, even though our ticket volume has gone up. As mentioned before, so some of the things we locate are like recycled water, potable water. Some of our sewer system is pressurized, which we also mark out. And among other things, flow monitoring and irrigation is also some of the things we locate. Thank you, Nicole.
Excellent. Thank you. All right, we're now going to introduce Brad, and we're going to dive in a little bit further. Brad?
Hey, Berinder, thank you for that. Maya, I want to say again, we appreciate you co-hosting this presentation with us. I'd like to kind of just start off by getting a bit of the lay of the land of what what the locate operation looked like prior to implementing the Boss 811 ticket management system.
Hi, Brad. Thank you. Prior to the 811, Boss 811 implementation, we were using paper maps. The paper maps were typically out of date because we were reliant on other departments to print out when facilities would change. We were also using paper tickets, and we were manually screening our tickets as far as figuring out where the tickets were going to be located, checking with maps, finding out what facilities are in those areas, and then routing those tickets. At the end of the day, we would have to come back to the office and manually input email with positive responses to those tickets. And we were using interns for some of the paperwork. So it was a lot of manpower just for processing those tickets.
Okay, so one of the things you were struggling with was efficiency with your locators, additional work that that potentially could have been automated, taking your time out of the field, correct?
Correct. That's what 811 really helped us do.
Excellent. Well, let me do this real quick. Before we continue our discussion on some of the specifics on how you guys have used Boss 811 to optimize your locate department, let's just visually look and have a quick discussion of some of the tools that you have at your disposal and some of the tools that you're using to automate these processes.
Okay.
So when it comes to efficiency and productivity improvements, Boss 811 allows you to access your locate ticket information in multiple ways, including a web client as well as a mobile app. So both of those are available to all of our users. You can use either or at any time. Both of them have specific functionality that are unique to them to make each one most efficient for where they're typically used. Some of the other efficiency optimization tools we have are driving directions, so we can optimize your driving directions. Next slide, please, Nicole. We have the ability to integrate your facility maps with the dig site polygon, letting you to visually easily from the field be able to see where your facilities are located in relation to that excavation. We also have the ability to take actions on multiple tickets at once, such as bulk closing tickets with the same response code. That is a big efficiency improvement. For supervisor visibility and proactive management, we have the concept of custom dashboards where we can actually create and display the information that is important to each individual user in a dashboard. Easy to locate, easy to find the information that they need to proactively do their job. Those include custom reports, so we can configure custom reports. So at your fingertips, you have access to the information you need to make sure your locate department is operating smoothly. And then last but not least, we are going to make sure that we improve communication, collaboration, and accountability using multiple features in the Boss 811 system, not limited to our log files. Anything and everything that happens to a ticket is going to be tracked. If there's ever any question in the future about what actually occurred on that locate, you have ready access to that information, including any of the automated routing rules that we incorporate into your custom Boss 811 ticket management system. Communication going out to the excavator, going out to the contractors, whatever stakeholder needs to be notified when certain things happen in Boss 811 with regard to a locate ticket, we can share that communication readily. Excuse me. So that's a little bit about some of the tools we have at our available in Boss 811. So let me kick it back over to San Jose and ask a question. Ask you to kind of talk about some of the workflows you guys have implemented. And the first one I'd like to talk about, or have you talk about, is your renewal ticket workflow.
So the renewal tickets are tickets that the excavator has has needs more time than the allotted 28 days that the Boss 811 allows, or I'm sorry, that 811 allows, but does not need more paint or markings refreshed for the job. With Boss 811, before Boss 811, we were manually screening all of those tickets, and those accounted for quite a bit, almost half, I believe. And now with Boss 811, we have it manually screened out, which saves us time.
Okay, so it looks like anytime a renewal ticket comes in, Boss is actually taking a look at that ticket and sending back a positive response automatically to the call center, clear no conflict,
That's correct.
eliminating any manual intervention on your end.
Right. And
Excellent.
before that, we would have, the locators would have to do that, or the interns.
Okay, perfect. So a big time savings there.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, the next workflow that I wanted to touch on is your remark ticket workflow. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Remark tickets are the markings, are where the markings or paint are not, are needing to be redone. We usually send out the same locator to those jobs that originally marked them. So because they have a job familiarity with what's going on there, it it allows us, so even if it's a larger job, we know that it shouldn't take as long to do it because we've already been out to it. And with Boss 811, it automatically flags those as a remark ticket, so we can route tickets accordingly to the locators that have done those jobs, so that they're actually able to do more because we know they've been out to those jobs. So it won't take them as long to complete them, so we can give them more tickets to do.
Okay, so if I understand correctly, you are identifying tickets and prioritizing them with specific individuals that have a pre-existing familiarity, excuse me for that word, familiarity with that location.
That's correct.
Okay, excellent. That's a neat way of using Boss 811 workflows. Appreciate that. You want to talk a little bit about how you currently assign your tickets?
So with San Jose is divided into 4 areas, and we have designated locators for those, a designated locator for each of those areas. We also have floaters which go to where the work is. So if there's a specific area that is getting overloaded with lots of tickets because they're doing a lot of excavation there, we can route, we can allot additional manpower or people power to those areas. And this way, nobody gets overrun with tickets and we're able to keep up with the workflow. In the past, we had to the appropriate coverage for those areas was harder to do because of the lack of the integrated maps. With Boss 811's integrated maps, we're able to see the tickets and where they are in our areas and send the locators out to those without a lot of effort on our part, I guess, because it's automated through Boss 811.
Oh, okay, excellent. Um, the next workflow I wanted to talk about, I found kind of interesting. Can you talk a little bit about what happens when a ticket comes in and it's located at the airport?
The airport is a sensitive security area. So the airport itself has their own locators for when there is an excavation job going on on the tarmac, and they need their own locators to do that because of the added security needed for it. If it is at the terminals, the San Jose locators, the San Jose city locators will locate at the terminals. With those, Boss 811 will send out an additional email to the contractors that are working in the area to advise them of the additional security that is needed for working in those areas. And so that saves us time having to send out that additional information, as well as it notifies the airport locators that they're going to be needed.
Okay, so you're actually using Boss 811 to proactively notify people outside of the city of San Jose when there are special circumstances that are occurring.
That is correct.
Excellent, excellent. I appreciate that. Okay, last slide I wanted to talk about real quick was we actually have created a report for you um, based on funding sources. Is that something you could kind of enlighten us of what you're doing with that information?
So, our department is what is considered a cost recovery department. And so we need to make sure that we are getting paid by the companies that are using our services so that, we remain a cost recovery department. With Boss 811, we are able to flag those tickets so that we know that they are going to the appropriate companies to get the fees for that.
Okay, you're actually using Boss 811 to identify different obviously, I guess, funding sources, for lack of a better word, so that you know how to build those external companies when they need to be built.
Correct. It allows us to, it helps us sort our fundings so that we can also, go to them and say, look, see, we have this many that went to you, and we have, so yeah, it
Okay.
helps us to
Budgeting,
budget
leadership, all that good stuff.
all that good stuff.
Excellent. I appreciate that, Maya. Want to kind of wrap up our conversation with just a couple quick highlighted slides. So, back in 2016, you guys received just over 50,000 tickets, so 57,000 tickets in total. In 2025, you received 90,000 plus tickets. So you've seen a substantial growth in the amount of tickets you've received over the last 10 years.
That's correct.
One of the things we are doing for you with Boss 811, next slide, please, Nicole. We are taking a look at those tickets where I believe they were the remark tickets or the renewal tickets, and we are automatically closing those tickets. So, of those 90,000 plus tickets, you are actually being dispatched to close less than 50,000 of those. Is that
That's
accurate?
correct. That's
Yeah.
correct. It allows us to close those renewal tickets because we don't need to go out to those. The other thing that Boss 811 helps us with closing is auto screening the tickets. So before we go out for the day, we will go through the tickets that we've received and see if there is any additional um, things that we can see on the map, because you guys have integrated Google Maps with your program, and it allows us to look at street views of the tickets that we're going out to. And sometimes in the areas we will have a an aerial, or a line that is in above ground. And so we don't locate the above ground because you can see it, it's in the air. But it allows us to look at the maps and see if there is um, additional rules that visually we can see as locators, so we can close those tickets and not go out to them, or not have to go out to them.
Okay. So the access to the real-time visual information is important to San Jose. Helps you
Oh,
make decisions.
greatly.
Excellent. Awesome. Thank you for that. Um, I guess I'll just kind of leave this last slide to you, Maya, if you want to kind of describe real quick in a nutshell what happened after, summarize what happened after implementing Boss 811 and kind of what that has done for the city of San Jose and your efficiency.
So with the city of San Jose, we used to have to print the tickets. We used to take the notes in the field. We used to have to bring the maps into the field to see what facilities we were locating. Um, we had to input the information once we got back into the office, and then send an email to the excavator. With Boss 811, we are able to see the maps in real time. We are able to get our driving directions in real time. We can actually call the contractor. We have the tickets located in our hand at all times. Um, the other thing that Boss 811 has helped with is our emergencies, because we are getting our tickets in real time. We are able to see the emergencies and respond to those um, quicker. The With Boss 811, it is sending the email automatically now, and it we have it's a database for us, so we are able to see where our tickets are. Brad, I think you had talked about how it shows who's touched what ticket. And that's a
Correct.
really good thing, because sometimes you don't always know who's closed a ticket or who touched it last. And with your Boss 811, an ability to see where that ticket has gone, we're able to maintain a chain of possession, as to use a term. So I mean, all in all, Boss 811 has saved us at least 4 minutes per ticket. I would guess higher than that, simply with all the um, tools that Boss 811 includes and has allowed us to customize for us specifically.
Okay, yeah, Maya. So just FYI, I spent all night last night trying to calculate how much money you save at 4 minutes a ticket. I
Yes.
gave up at a lot. So we
Right.
appreciate that the efficiencies that you guys are realizing with Boss 811.
Well, the other thing with Boss 811 is even though our tickets have almost doubled in amount, we have maintained the same amount of locators that we had back in 2016. And on top of that, we no longer need the interns because of all the time saving and automation that Boss 811 has brought to the
So
city of San Jose
double the ticket volume with less payroll.
with less payroll. That's correct.
Awesome. I'm certainly glad to hear that. Next thing, Maya and Berinder, if you'd like to chime in as well. We had a question submitted to us prior to during registration, and I just want to kind of touch on this question and make sure we get that answered before we kind of turn it over to a very brief Boss 811 demo. Not to take more than a couple minutes, just to kind of visually show everybody what Boss 811 looks like. But that question is, when utilities are relocated to new facilities, and the existing facilities are abandoned in place, how do you differentiate between the abandoned facilities that can be excavated through and the ones that are now active?
So for the city of San Jose, I can answer that. For the city of San Jose, what we do is we use a capital A with a circle around it to show that they are abandoned when it's an abandoned line. This way, the excavator can see that it is abandoned.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. I'm glad we were able to address out our question. At this point in time, I would like to really quickly walk through what a life cycle of a ticket looks like in Boss 811. And to do this, we're going to introduce a couple of our customer support representatives, and they will briefly walk you through our web client so that you can see what the functionality looks like out in the field.
Hey, Brad. Thanks for
Hey,
that.
Alyssa. Thank you.
Hey.
Everybody, this is Alyssa Sheldon. She'll be kind of walking us through the mobile application.
Mobile. Yep. Hi, everyone. Okay, so just a brief overview here of the mobile app. When a ticket comes into BOSS from the 811 center, and it gets assigned to you, it will show up in your list here. You can actually view the ticket both in a list view or a map view, so it's just personal preference as to what you prefer. But you'll just click right on the ticket that will open it up for you. You can review the details here under the description tab. As Maya was mentioning, getting driving directions and being able to contact either the excavator or whomever called in the ticket. Those are actually hyperlinks right here within your Boss account. So you don't have to toggle back and forth between applications. A lot of our customers really like that feature because you write down the phone number and it blows out the window. We've heard it all and seen it all. So here we have it right here for you. You're going to have all of the tabs here at the top on each individual ticket. So you'll have a notes tab where you can add internal notes for your team. You have an attachments tab. This is where you can take photos or videos of what you've marked. And those are for you guys for documentation. You'll then have your Maps tab where you can review the dig site polygon from the call center. And then if you have any of your facilities integrated into your account, those will display here as well. Then from here, once you've completed all of that information, you're ready to submit your positive response. You'll be able to do that right here from the mobile app. So you can select your code, whatever is the most appropriate for this ticket specifically, and then update and close that ticket right here from the mobile app. Your response is then sent directly back to the 811 center. And if you are a customer that has set up to have a notification be sent back to the excavator or anyone else. Those are done automatically at that time. And back to you, Brad.
Thank you, Alyssa. Appreciate it. So,
Absolutely.
before we move on, there were once again a couple more questions submitted, more for the Boss 811 team pre-registration. So we want to quickly address those questions. And once that's complete, we want to open it up to the rest of the audience for any questions that you have, and we will answer them to the best of our ability. So the first question we received was, is Boss 811 part of or independent from USA Dig Alert? We are an independent company. We are a software development company that developed Boss 811, but we are currently working with every call center in the United States. So we have an integration with those call centers, but we are a separate entity from the call center itself. Now we had a couple more questions, and they're all kind of related, and we really we just want to briefly touch on this. And if anybody's interested in more information, we'd love to have a conversation outside of this webinar. But the question was, how is ticket management contributing to risk mitigation and damage prevention, as well as how ticket management systems are using analytics to identify problem areas and minimize damages? So one of the modules we have with Boss 811 is a machine learning risk tool. This risk tool is reliant on the information for your organization. We are going to learn what constitutes a higher risk excavation and identify that appropriately so action can be taken to prevent any said damages from occurring. We have a couple ways of doing this. One, if you become a Boss 811 client, we start learning from day one as we receive your tickets, and over time, the machine learning is going to do its thing and it's going to begin appropriately identifying higher risk excavations and then generating any automated notifications or alerts that you want to have generated. If you do have historic damage data, we also have the ability to import that damage data and basically start training the machine learning system from the beginning. That requires a separate analysis of your data. We need to analyze your data, match it up with our system, and then configure our system so that it will appropriate comb that data and then begin identifying those higher risk excavations. So those last question that we received was trend analysis and reporting. Same thing. We have the ability to use our machine learning tool, identify trends, and then provide the reports you need so that those trends are you can readily act on those particular trends via our reports. So that's a wrap of the questions that were submitted pre-conference. What I'd like to do now is go to our next slide and then answer any questions that we've received during this presentation or continue to receive as we continue our conversation.
All right, perfect. Thank you so much, Maya, Barinder. Thank you, Brad. All of you just gave us like a clear perspective on the tangible benefits of implementing Boss 811. I think I do see a few questions that may have been submitted. For the rest of you all on the call, please feel free to use this time to submit any questions you have using the Q&A box, and we're going to work to get your questions answered right away. I hope these weren't addressed by you guys just now. If I repeat anything, let me know, but I think I see this one. I'm using a third party for locating. How can Boss 811 be used to save costs?
Yeah, I'd be happy to take that question. So, for our clients that use a third-party locator, one of the things we do, we actually put Boss in between you and your third-party locating company. The tickets are dispatched to Boss. Boss is going to analyze the tickets, take any actions on the tickets, whether that's an auto close, a notification, whatever is important to your organization, prior to dispatching that ticket to the third-party locating company. So in the example with San Jose, they've got 90,000 tickets coming in. If they use the third-party locating company, which they do not, we would pre-screen almost half those tickets before dispatching them to the third-party locating company.
Awesome. Thank you. All right. Let's see. I've got another one here. Is there a mechanism to notify the excavator if the site cannot be accessed?
Yeah, using our routing rules and our notification engine, we can actually, based on the positive response sent back to the call center, that can trigger a message to go out to whoever you need that message to go out to. So in this particular case, you're going in, you're unable to access the site, you send the positive response back, unable, no access, can't gain access, whatever the positive response is for your particular state. And the second that happens out in the field, real time, boss is going to generate a message, whether that's a phone call, an email, or a text message. Your choice could be all three, but that's automatically going to go to the excavator with a message that you pre-configure, letting them know you weren't able to access, giving them a phone number to call so that you can, organize a time so that you can get access, get the locate done, and then make sure the excavation happens safely.
Excellent. Thank you. Does risk management come with Boss 811? That was submitted also?
Yeah, our risk scoring engine is a separate module. Happy to discuss pricing at a later date if you are interested, but it is a separate additional module for the Boss 811 ticket management system.
Excellent. All right. Here's one I can answer again. Will the slide deck be available after the call? So everybody, please note that this recording, excuse me, excuse me, this recording will be available on our YouTube channel and on our website under resources. I think I've got a question that might be a curveball for you, Barinder, maybe you, Maya, whichever wants to take a stab at this. But do you guys have any future plans for Boss 811 at your organization?
I can take that. Right now, well, right now, I mean, we're using it, so we are always open to anything that can improve our locating. So
Mhm.
we're open to it, but we don't actually have any dedicated plans at this time.
Okay, awesome. All right. I do have other questions coming in. Let's see. Um, This one, let's see. Andrew submitted a question. Thank you so much for joining us today, Andrew. His question is, do you have a dedicated employee to manage all of your excavations, locators, and the boss system? Barinder, Maya, or Barinder?
Yeah, yeah. So like Maya was saying, we have dedicated locators. We have like four areas we divided into north, east, west, south, and almost every area has two locators. So yeah, we have dedicated locators because they're also familiar with the area and they can respond quickly because they're familiarity with the area. So yes,
Mhm.
we do have
That
dedicated
makes sense.
locators.
Excellent, excellent.
Yeah, and just to add to that,
Mhm.
just make sure that we get the question answered. Typically, our client base has a designated administrator and or administrators, if it's more than one, that is kind of responsible for the boss system and many times spends the majority of the time dealing with our support, configuring workflows, doing things of that nature. So while every organization is different, most of the organizations kind of have a lead who's a bit responsible for being the administrator of the Boss 811 solution.
Awesome. All right. Thank you. Anonymous attendee number one, even though your name's not there, thank you so much for joining us today. You'll recognize your question. If we decide to use Boss 811, typically, how long does it take to onboard and go live for a municipality like San Jose, maybe that size?
Does the support team, are you okay if the sales team takes that question? Yeah, so this is Brad once again. That's a difficult question to answer because every organization is different. When we do get posed that question, our kind of standard report response is roughly 30 days, but there are a number of things that can impact that timetable. Depends on the complexity of the workflows you guys are initially looking at building. Boss is a solution where not it doesn't have to be the whole system doesn't have to be built out immediately. It can be added to, but it depends on the amount of initial reporting and workflows that you want configured. And then it also depends on your timetable as our customer, because as we know, sometimes things come up and meetings get pushed back, so on and so forth. But I think a good standard answer would be roughly 30 days, dependent obviously on complexity and timetables. But we as an organization can operate as quickly as you need to.
Mhm. That makes sense. Thanks, Brett. All right.
Mhm.
Anonymous attendee number two, thank you for joining us today. What type of support staff does Bosch use? What kind of support ticket turnaround time frame is there? Who wants to take a stab at that? What type of support staff does Bosch use?
Yeah, I guess maybe if there was some elaboration on that one.
All right.
Um,
Yeah. If you've
We have,
recognized your
well, yeah,
question,
yeah,
you can unmute yourself. You can chime in and maybe elaborate on that question. If you recognize that, feel free to do so. Otherwise, if it can't be answered live, we can always connect with you guys outside of this webinar and kind of work one-on-one as
We
well.
can answer the time
Oh,
frame. The
yeah,
time frame is less than 15 minutes,
yeah.
is our typical turnaround time for any support tickets that's submitted.
all right, even better. Thank you, guys.
Thank
All right.
15 minutes. Just want to reiterate that.
One more time. 15 minutes for everybody in the back. Thank you for that clarity, guys. All right, let's see. Uh, Mr. Suarez joined in. Thank you for joining us today. And his question is for San Jose and a follow-up on Andrew's questions. If all locators are busy and cannot attend in the field, can the customer upload photos of their current conditions or excavation that you can review in real time or at a later time?
So just to clarify, yeah, I
Mhm.
mean, when we're out in the field, our locators can take pictures and locate. When you're talking about the customer, are you talking? I'm not understanding the question. If are you talking about the contractor sending it to the West one? Is that the question?
Joel, do you want to provide any clarity for that?
Y- Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Hey.
The contractor more than anything.
Mhm. Okay.
Let's say, all the allocators are busy, they're, probably on another sites. Can they also upload their own, pictures and kind of help, if it's a time sensitive excavation or, for safety reasons, they have to cover up some stuff and, can you decide, by both of you looking at, on the app and
So okay, yeah, interesting. So basically, you're talking about you would be using US North. So I mean, we would look at it, but to be honest, we wouldn't, we wouldn't be approved. We'd still have to send a locator, and we usually are pretty good. Our time is almost like 98% within the 48 hours that are, that 811 allows. So within that time, we will get somebody out there. If not, our locators usually call the contractor, telling them, hey, either we can't make it or if need be, it might be a different time outside our normal working hours, but that's very, very rare considering with the amount of work we do and the location we have. So yeah, usually that's not an issue, but you can, I believe, send it a picture of it, but we would still need to go out there and locate. Just to clarify, if you sent a picture, that doesn't mean we're going to allow, as a city, to allow you to continue work until all facilities are marked, which is USA code.
Excellent. All right. Thank you for that. We've got another question from an anonymous attendee. This is about money. So maybe that's why they're not anonymous. They say, can you describe your cost recovery structure? Do you charge the excavators for your 811 services? Do you want to take a stab at that, Brenda? Or?
Can you repeat the question,
Sure.
please?
It says, can you describe, and it's got S San Jose in parentheses. So can you describe your San Jose cost recovery structure? And then follow up, do you charge the excavators for your 811 services? Does that,
No,
okay.
no.
Mhm,
So just to clarify, when we say cost, that's internally for San Jose. That doesn't have
mhm,
to do with any of the contractors. 811 is a free service to everyone. All
mhm,
contractors and homeowners can use it. When Maya was talking about the cost recovery center, that's an internal system within the city of San Jose. This
mhm,
particular section that does it is cost recovery. So some of the ways we recover that is, for example, if PG&E and stuff, which utilities and usually other contractors that work for big things that have a franchise agreement with the city. We're issues permit through them. So through our permitting fees is how we recover that particular cost. So if a homeowner asks it, we're not going to charge them. It's free service to us. But we recover it from other ways, mostly from utility companies and stuff whose facilities, whose work is done with the city. That's where our income comes from there. That money that we gather from them through the permitting is also used to provide the free service to the contractor and the homeowners. I hope that answers the question.
Yeah, I think that did. Thank you so much for that clarity. We just had another question there. I'd like to put this question live on our thanks, Brett, but I would like to go live with it. Elizabeth, thanks for joining in today. So let's just answer it on the call. She wants to know is I want to alter your question a little bit, Elizabeth. Is Boss 811 available in Massachusetts? How about this? Brett, can you tell us where Boss 811 maybe is available and where it isn't?
Yeah, we're currently integrated with every one call center in the United States, including Massachusetts, New York, all the Northeast there.
Excellent. Thank you so much. All right. All right, you guys. I think I just saw, I think that was the last question I saw
No,
so
we have
far. Do
one
we have
more
another?
question.
All
Yes.
right.
This
Let's
question
see.
is, when
Yeah.
screening tickets that are renewals, does the system send the 001 clear no conflict code for every renewal that comes in? Alyssa, you
Chris.
want to take that?
Sure. So, with our routing engine, you can determine what code is sent back to the call center, on those renewal tickets. So basically with our routing engine, you're going to have a trigger, a set of conditions, and then telling the system what action to take. So in this specific scenario, you can tell the system when a renewal ticket comes in, send this code back to the call center. And whether that is a 001 or a 004, no markings requested, that is completely determined by the customer specifically.
Thank you. Thanks for that, getting that question in, both of you guys. All right, let's see. I'm not sure if you guys see any more coming in through the Q&A, let me know. If you guys have any last minute questions that are kind of popping up, feel free to ask them or kind of type them into the Q&A at this time. And we'll go ahead and get those addressed before we wrap up and conclude today. So I'm just going to give you guys just another moment. All right. If you guys don't have any other questions, I think that means that our speakers did an amazing job today at being clear and thorough, and again, giving us a fresh perspective on utilizing 811 software. So without any further ado, we would now like to announce that we do have two gift cards that we're going to give away today. I'm going to kind of mix all of the attendees' names up and try and grab one out and see who might win an Amazon gift card. We've got two $50 gift cards. Hang on. All right, the first winner today looks like it's Jose Presadio with the city of Oceanside. So congratulations to you, Jose. We'll make sure that you get that right after this webinar. And I'm going to grab out another name. And let's see if I'm not pronouncing your names properly, please forgive me. But our next winner is Isla Mendez with the city of Mesa. Congratulations to you both. Thank you so much to everyone for joining us today. I hope you guys use those gift cards on something special. Otherwise, you guys have to pay attention to our marketing emails and our promotions, and you might win on our next webinar. We do hope that you join us at our next Boss event, Boss 811 event, one of our live shows or our online events. But for today, thank you all for joining us. Thank you for your time and your attention. Please fill out our survey when you do receive that. Congratulations to the winners, and everyone have a wonderful day.